there. Well, he's gonna find it. Well, there's treasure waiting. It's just been hiding. Yeah, you know he'll comb the beach and he'll unearth metal. Calabash digger will find something special. He'll dig, he'll dive to find that treasure. Welcome to Calabash Digger Adventures.
All right, guys, I'm going to show you the Minelab Elite versus the triple score today on around 11.5 to 12 inch or 12.5 inch silver half dollar, 10.5 to 11 to 11.5 inch silver dime. I don't know that I buried them at 10.5 and 12, and they've been buried quite a few years now, so I imagine we've got a little bit of sink rate in my sandy soil on those targets. Now, the Minelab Elite and the triple score are very, very good detectors for the money. I feel like these detectors are the best bang for your buck on the market today. But I also have the Manticore wearing a 9-inch coil in this testing video. And you know, as we sit here and we talk about the mid-tier or lower price units, they are great performance, but yes, and I've said this before, there are differences in higher end detectors. Is that closing and the distance getting narrower? I would say yes, but there are clearly a performance difference here with the Manticore and the triple score and the Minelab Elite, and I will show that to you after the testing of the triple score and Minelab Elite. And you guys will have to be the judge of which one you think did the best, but these detectors are getting better, they're getting better priced, and you know, it's a great time to be a metal detector. So stay tuned, here we go. All right, guys, pardon me, but I've been a little under the weather since my dive trip last week. This is July the 30th. I hope to have a beach testing video up between these detectors in just a few days. But right now we're gonna check a deep high conductive silver half dollar, a 11, and that's at 12 inches to 13 inches, a silver dime at probably around 11 inches. I planted it at 10 and a half years ago, so we, you know, probably sunk a little bit. I'm gonna say somewhere around 11. Very tough target. But I have the triple score, and I have the Minelab Elite, and I have the Manticore wearing the 9-inch coil, and I will crank this detector up at the end just to show you the difference between a $1,600 detector and a sub $600 detector. And let me go ahead and say this, both of these detectors are set up apples to apples, the best that I can do with my knowledge of these detectors. We're running M2, we're running Part 2, which is always what I hunted with. I used the Equinox 800, and it's good at unmasking. It's got great depth on silver. I know the M1 is more of a coin program and Part 1, but we're going to test both of these detectors on these coins in the M2 and Part 2, as I feel that probably most people run that for the unmasking. That's just my opinion, or that's what I would be running, so that's what we're going to use. Recovery speed of 1, recovery speed of 3, and you know, these are a little bit different, so I'm trying to get them apple to apple. 1 would be the lowest that you can run the Elite, and 3 would be about the lowest that I would attempt to run the triple score. 0 iron bias, 0 iron filter on this one, and that I'm not going to run that in -1 because I don't feel like the triple score 0 equals -1, so we're trying to keep it apples to apples. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with both machines. Let's get the Elite cranked up, and you guys give me a second. So we're going to look at the silver half first, and I'll run through the settings to show you guys real quick. All tones, 60 tones on the triple score, and then we're going to run the filter at, there you go. So no funky business, iron volume on both detectors. So let's go with it right here. The 12-inch silver half. Got a little bit of bounciness on it, but that's a deep coin. Let's look at the sensitivity. Is at 20. Let's bump it to 19 just to see. Didn't really help it. Let's bump it up to 22. ID is a little bit deep on, a little bit jumpy on that. Let's get it back to 20. Machine seems to be running pretty good there. Hits it, a little bit jumpy ID. Let's look at the dime. This is a real tough target. And that, I'm gonna let you guys be the judge. That is a very tough target. Let's get the triple score out. All right, we'll run the triple score at M2. Yeah, that works good, right? We'll run the ground out, so we'll have the iron volume on. We'll run through the settings. Whoops. Recovery speed of 3, filter at 0, and then it'll be in 60 tones, so we don't even have to look at that, but we could noise cancel this one. And let's see what happens. The real test for me is going to be the beach test, and that's going to be a big deciding factor in these two units. Let's look at the sensitivity. We're going to run it down just a little bit, about 12. "12" silver half. Let you guys be the judge of that. The dime, let's look at it. Let's crank it down just a little bit. Kind of get it a little more stable. Both of them struggle on that. Back to the... Okay, so you guys be the judge. That is an extreme depth test. That is very extreme depth test, man. I mean, that corn has been planted. Like I said, I've been a little under the weather. You see me sweating, so I'm trying to get that cold sweated out of me so I can go to the beach and get this test done. But maybe tomorrow. So it might be tomorrow afternoon or the next day. This is July 30th, 2024 if you're watching this years later. So it should be within a couple days I'll have the beach test up. But is there a difference in a $1,500 metal detector? Well, I'm gonna let you guys see the difference. There is a difference. These are great units, great bang for the buck, high performance units, but there is a difference. Let me crank up the Manticore. Notice it's wearing a smaller coil. The Manticore is wearing a 9-inch coil. So let me get my remote hooked. It's gonna be ran in all-terrain general. See the stability? See the stability? Pretty wild, right? Starting to just chirp at 24. We'll run it there. Let's noise cancel it. Let's look at the volume, all-terrain general, ground balance, recovery speed of 3. We'll bump it to 4. That's where I like to be. So let's look at the 12-inch silver half. Stability. Let's look at the dime, 11-inch dime. So yes, guys, there is quite a difference on those deep targets on a $1,500 metal detector. Just wanted to show you that. Even though these are great performance, great price, there's still a difference between Minelab's high-end and the Elite. So keep that in mind, and I'm sure that we'll see that same thing on the beach. But that's not a knock on these units. These units are sub $600. They're high performance units, but there is a difference between the top dog depth wise than these units right here. 9-inch coil, you guys seen it.